For the first time, Raila has been exposed for who he is. For the first time, Raila is clueless of how to explain to Kenyans some of his actions. For the first time, Raila is very much confused. You can share this video with any Raila diehard supporters because Raila is being exposed for who he is. Some can call him a scam, some can call him a con man, but the truth is, for the first time, Raila hana mali pa kujificha. With everything anasema, he ends up being exposed the same way Ruto he ends up being exposed with everything and every statement he makes. I know you'll wonder why else I'm saying all this. But if you are new to this platform, first take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you'll always be the first to watch. So kindly do that and then I'll be back to explain. Yes, thank you for subscribing. So I've said that Raila finally is being exposed for who he is. You know, for a long time, there are some people who have always constantly said that Raila is not the person who people think he is. And most Kenyans have never believed. Most of us have been attacking him and attacking these people and saying, no, Raila is a good man, nani. One of them has always been PLO. PLO has always been consistent. Miguna has been on and off, but at some point he has always been consistent saying that Raila is not who he is, who people think he is. Before I explain and before I say anything, I want you to watch this video and I want you to tell me in the comment section if whatever this person Raila is saying really makes sense to you or to anybody else. And then I will come back and do my analysis. So kindly watch this video and then I'll be back.
Gharama ya maisha ni juu sana ya Wakenya. Wakenya wanaumia. Bei ya chakula iko juu, ushuru iko juu sana. Mambo hii ya ufisadi imepanda. Ndio sababu tukaweka ile mkataba, tumeweka 10-point agenda. Na hiyo 10-point agenda sio usalata. Wewe unataka tufanye namna gani? Kama kuna njia nyingine, unasema Ruto aende. Aende nani ifanyike? Mbele pale Ruto aende aweke Gachagua. Sasa Ruto aende, Kindiki aende abaki pale. Baadaye Kindiki aende weke mtu mwingine. Hakuna haja. 27 itafika. Lakini Wakenya wako na shida mpaka shida yatatuliwe sasa. Sio siku nyingine. Hatuwezi kupiga siasa miaka 5 yote mfululizo. Nchi haiwezi kuendelea mbele.
I believe you've watched that video. And you can hear clearly Raila trying to explain why they had to come up with that deal with Ruto. Why they had to sign that MOU with Ruto. First, he's saying that the cost of living is high. The taxes are high. Corruption is way high. Insecurity has been high. And some of these things, for them to solve, that's why they signed that MOU. Kindly, they signed the 10 points agenda. Kindly explain for me, like a 10-year-old or a 2-year-old or whatever, how these problems needed an MOU for them to be solved. Explain to me, just like a 2-year-old, how the handshake between Raila and Ruto will solve the cost of living. How that one is going to solve abductions. Why Raila needed to work with Ruto so that taxes can come down. You know, some of these things, unless you are a critical thinker, or if you are a critical thinker in whatever form, those things don't make sense. That argument doesn't make sense at all. Because who is the president? And who has kept us in this mess? Why do we have high taxes? It's because of Ruto. It is because of Ruto's policies and everything. Why do we have abductions and all these cases of insecurity? It's because of the president and all his nini. Why do we have all these problems that we are saying, the high cost of living and corruption? That explanation doesn't make sense. And for me, I'm very happy because Raila is being exposed for who he is. He went to Kisii and people chased him from Kisii. And you can hear right that every time he tries to explain why he's working with Ruto, it doesn't make sense. People keep on calling him, no, what you're saying doesn't make sense. You know, Raila is someone who has always used the emotions of Kenyans to always feels like he's fighting for us. He has always created that illusion that he's fighting for us. But indeed, Raila has always been looking after his own interest. In most of the cases. And this time round, I want to say that he went and did a wrong handshake. He has done a lot of handshakes before, but this one has exposed him for who he is. Because it doesn't, you don't need a handshake to lower taxes. You don't need that. You don't need that. So this is a man who saw an opportunity, who saw a president that is vulnerable, who saw a president that is exposed, and he said, twende hapa tukule. And that is why you see after the MOU, even the house committees, ODM has taken majority of them. Why? Because that is where the money, pesa ya Kenyans hukuliwa kama mjui. Pesa zetu huwa zinakuliwa kwa hizo committees. You know those committees that they form? That is where most of the parliament pesa mingi huwa inakuliwa. Because if government wants something to pass, that is where, those are the people they bribe. So, these guys, Raila, whatever he's saying, doesn't make sense. Another explanation, you can hear him clearly say that mulikuwa mnataka Ruto atoke ndio nini fanyike, nani anifanyike. I want you to understand this, and I want you, if this video hata inaweza fikia Raila mnaweza share na yeye. I want him to explain to me. In 2022, after the election, people went to demonstrate to the street to demonstrate about the cost of living. Watu walikuwa wanavaa sufuria kwa kichwa. And one of the things that Raila was demonstrating about was the cost of living, and he was saying that that they are not going to stop until Ruto steps down as the president. That was what he was saying. And that was the demonstrations that people are demonstrating about. Raila was calling demonstrations about that. Now you tell me, right now he's telling us that nyinyi mlikuwa mna demonstrate ndio Ruto atoke kwa kiti, alafu nini fanyike. So you tell me how different it is with what the Gen Zs were doing and what Raila was doing. Because alikuwa anataka Ruto atoke kwa kiti, and then nini fanyike? Yeye ndiye akalie, because yeye angekalia. So alikuwa anataka nani aikalie? Unaona? Same way Gen Zs walikuwa wanataka Ruto atoke. Ruto alikuwa anataka atoke ndio nani akalie. So it is the same thing. But now, because he was not part of this, and this one was big, because let's be factual. Demonstrations that Raila was na happen to around Nairobi and Kisumu and Nyanza and part of Coast Kidogo. Nothing more. But the Gen Z's demonstration took part across all the 44 counties. Only like 3 counties did not participate in that demonstration. 3 or 4 counties. So this is a man who took advantage of a situation to see how he's going to help himself, how he's going to get something to benefit from this thing. Because what he's saying doesn't make sense. What he was fighting for back then, when he was demonstrating what he wanted, some of his demands, is some of the demands that the Gen Zs were demanding, because the Gen Zs were demanding the cost of living ishuke, the cost, they were demonstrating corruption, it's way too high. Unaona, they were demanding that taxes zimeshu nini. That was the same thing he was demonstrating back then. So how comes the year Gen Zs was wrong na yake yenye alikuwa anafanya was right? Tell me, help me make sense. Because Raila has so many diehard supporters that once you question these things, they don't want you to question, they don't want you to ask some of these questions. Where yet some of us, if we ask these things, we just want them to make sense to us. Without you telling us that, oh, sijui Raila the back has been fighting. Because anytime you bring issue of Raila and you try to criticize Raila in a different way, they always tell you, oh, respect Raila. Even that freedom that you are enjoying, you fought for. Sawa, we agree. Raila has done some of the great things in this country. But that one does not make him immune to, being criticized. Because what is the essence of democracy? We will tell him when he's wrong. That is how it should work. So you people who keep on telling us, no, you should not question Raila. No, he will be questioned. We will try to ask him to explain some things so that they can make sense. Because right now what he's saying doesn't make sense. The reason why he came and did that handshake with Ruto, that didn't make sense at all. And now he's trying to explain why he's doing all these MOUs. The 10 points. The 10 points agenda doesn't need two parties to come and sign a deal so that they can be fulfilled. Because that is what we brought. The president took an oath to protect Kenyans. And some of those things are there in the constitution. What people need to do is just to follow the constitution. So will Raila help Ruto follow the constitution? And if that is the case, then why should we be having election? Wacha watu waende wachagua, waseme huyu ndio tunataka president. Akishachaguliwa president, then tuite Raila kuja kufanya kazi na huyu mtu ndiye afuate constitution. If that is what it's supposed to be. Because we can't understand how someone keeps on coming up with things and saying that no, we are fighting for Kenyans. And you know Raila's style of politics, and one thing people don't understand, I don't think even people don't understand. Maybe I'll explain. Let me just explain. Raila's style of politics, if you people observe, it has always been that you go, you cut a deal, and then before Kenyans wagutuke, you start doing those nini. The same way unaona he went, struck a deal with Ruto, and then now he always looks for something that he knows Kenyans love, like football and nini, and then he goes there and then he speaks some of the things then as it makes sense, and then people celebrate, and then people call him Baba and everything, because Baba like praises. Baba is just a Luo like any other Luo. You Luos love pride and praises. Mjaluo ukimsifu, trust you me, you have won. Umemwingiza box almost 70%. I'm a Luo myself, so I know our people, how they behave. So when he went to Kisii and things did not turn out the way he expected, he was shocked. And now you see he's trying to come out to explain why they did this deal. And you can see even in the crowd when he explaining these things, people are just looking at him. They are like, Mzee, this is not adding up. Which is true. Whatever he was saying doesn't add up. And then after he was just, there's a style of politics Raila always want to imply. Always wants to do that makes him looks like inamfanya kaini kama like he's someone very important. He's someone very important in this country. And I'll explain to you. You know that capital where Raila, after some time you always see like people go there. They do, like Raila keeps on meeting delegates. He meets ambassadors for this country, and then he meets Mau elders. He meets a group of Nubian community, and then later you'll see he'll meet Gikuyu association of what, and then later utasikia he had a meeting with coffee farmers. I had a meeting with delegates from which country. That is Raila's style of politics. Those things Raila huwa anafanya. Remember, there's no solution that always comes from Capitol Hill. Hakunanga solution hutoka huko. Ever since people started going there for those meetings, for those to meet with Raila, none of the things, hakuna solution ishaitokea. And if you can notice very well, Raila has been evolving in this style of politics. He started this thing of people meeting him during during Uhuru's era, where he used to meet people. You remember even when he started even meeting ministers, will go there and to brief him and everything. That is the Raila style of politics. He does this thing so that he can elevate himself to a level whereby he looks like he's powerful. He looks like he needs to be consulted for things to run. But in real sense, he's just trying to sell this narrative that I'm big in this country. That no, if you need something, come to me. So that Kenyans feel like, hey, Raila ni mtu mkubwa. That is what Raila does. So these things these people that he keeps on meeting, sijui meets this community, sijui he has met the ambassador of what. Trust you me, hakunanga solution utoka hapo. People go there, mnapigishwa story, and then you take a photo moment, and then it's inaisha. And then once Kenyans feel like Raila is the nini, unasikia now his supporters come, wanakuja wanatuambia Raila is the third arm of the is the fourth arm of the government. Sijui without Raila this government can't run. That is Raila's style of politics. So you people, you need to study the man. And why I know that and why Raila operates the way he operates. Raila love to feel important. And even that bullying and that nini that alipitia Kisii, that one ilimu affect vibaya, because he's not someone who is used to such things, especially now at his advanced age. Because right now he always feels like akisema kitu Kenyans should just listen and follow. So maybe this is what I can say, that Raila finally is being exposed for who he is. Mimi have been a strong supporter of Raila. I used to vote for him. I voted for him in 2013, in 2017, 2022. But after 2022, then I started adding the dots, and I realized that this man has never had interest of going anywhere with of being anywhere more than where he is. This is a man who love power but without responsibility. Because I started adding things and none of these were adding up. So guys, I know I might be different. I know your opinion might be so different. I might be wrong to some of you. I might be right to some of you. Let us engage in the comment section, but remain respectful. The way you've seen me explain why I feel like Raila is not, some of these things are not adding up, I've remained respectfully. Don't insult anybody. Don't come out and attack anybody in a way that just share your opinion, why you think I might be wrong or I might be right. And then let us engage. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched this video until the end, and for anyone who has subscribed. If you have not, kindly subscribe so that anytime I post a video, you'll always be the first to watch. Remember, on this platform we discuss politics, and I also share my opinion the way I see things are. It doesn't mean I'm right, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. So let's engage. Until next time, bye-bye.
Africa.